Sharp Kim here, coming at you with another episode from ChooseYourRelationships.com off of Love Can't Wait, which can be found on Amazon.com. And I got a question from a listener, long-time listener, and he wanted to know, he said he has a good job, has his own house, car, he's very well established and doing whatever he's been doing for 10 years now. And he said he consistently meets women that are intimidated by him. So he said, why is this the case? That's a good question. That's a real good question. Let me tell you something, man. There's a lot of silly and just sometimes stupid women out here today. You know, there's a lot of women out here, when they meet a guy that's serious and about his business, that's always building, trying to have something in life, trying to make a difference in life, there's a lot of women that are intimidated by that. And the reason why that is because we live in a society where there's no initiative for women to behave and to really take responsibility and be accountable for their actions. You know, we live in a society where women will get a pass. Women will sometimes go in the courtroom, and the laws and the policies, even when it comes to jobs, is biased, and women kind of they give women a slap on the wrist. You know, so that's a part of it. You know, and a lot of women, they're like adult child babies. Now, a lot of people will say women mature faster than guys, which is true. But guys, we catch up. We catch up later. And you have a lot of women that, you know, they think it's all about them. And plus, when a woman that's childlike, that's childish, meets a guy that's serious and about his business, 9 times out of 10, not all the time, but most of the time, she will try to say things to him and make him feel bad. She'll, put him down, call him names. And the reason why she's doing that is because she don't know, first off, she don't know what to do with the guy. And second, she knows if she gets with this guy, or seriously talk with this guy, or get in a relationship with this guy, she's going to have to do something. She's going to have to step her game up. She's going to have to put in some work. And a lot of these women don't want to do that. So what they'll do is, act like a little girl, basically. Act childlike, because it's, in their mind, it's all about them. This is what really happens. See, a real woman would see a guy that's a mover and a shaker, and she would find a way to get on his team. That's what a real woman would do. A real woman would not put the guy down or downplay his accomplishments or whatever he's doing at the time. She would try to find a way to get involved, because she wants to get close to that man. She wants to make a difference in his life, whatever he's involved in. But a woman that's childlike, she ain't trying to do that. She ain't trying to do none of that shit. A woman that's childlike will say something like, what are you doing this stuff for? What's this got to do with me? That's what a childlike woman would say. A childlike woman would say something like, why do you feel the need to do this? Why do you feel obligated to do this? Even though he's making a good living doing whatever it is, or making a profit, or making a difference, but it doesn't matter because she knows she has to do something. She has to upgrade herself, and she doesn't want to do that. So a lot of time, that's where the intimidation comes from. And I ran into that a lot over the past 20 years. Yeah, and even still to this day. Not it doesn't happen as often as it did back in the day. But a lot of times back in the day I was kind of naive because I used to actually tell people what I was doing, what I was going to do before I did it. And sometimes it made me discouraged. But today I've learned that it's good not to say anything about what you're going to do until it's done already. And this happens with a lot of guys that's in relationships because a lot of guys, their dreams get destroyed by dream killers. And a lot of these women are girlfriends, husbands. And this is why a lot of guys have a hard time accomplishing anything big. Because the woman that they're with, she knocks it down. 98% of the time, she's going to knock it down. This is why I always tell guys, whatever you want to do that's big, make sure you start it before you decide to get married or get seriously involved with any woman. Because 9 times out of 10, if you're seeking validation or approval from your woman after you're married, after y'all moved in together, the answer is always going to be no 99.999% of the time. I can almost guarantee you. I've met a lot of guys over the past 20 years, and I've tried to get a lot of guys involved in a lot of different projects that I've had. And every time a guy told me that, he said, "Hey, it sounds good, man, but I gotta get back to you. I gotta talk to my wife. I gotta talk to my girl." They almost never came back with an answer. 97% of the time. So whenever I heard a guy says, "Hey, I got to get back with you. I got to talk to my woman about it," I didn't even look for him to come back because I already knew what the answer was. Because you got a childlike, silly acting woman at the house that's trying to dictate and control the household and the relationship. And a lot of these guys just don't got the balls to stand up to a lot of them. And the reason why that is because a lot of times, a lot of these women will start acting crazy. A lot of these women will start acting crazy, turning out the house, acting a fool, and even in front of the kids, they act a fool. So in a situation like this, if you're with a woman that's childlike, that's intimidated by you, and she'll act out in a childlike manner, start crying, act like, somebody died just because you didn't buy her something. It could be something like little kids get upset over it. That's how a lot of these women react. They get all angry and start slamming the doors and, start yelling and screaming. So a lot of these guys don't want to, they just do things just to keep the peace in the household or just to keep the peace in the environment wherever they're at the time. So if you're with a woman that's like this, and if she's not willing to learn or upgrade herself, there's only one thing left to do. You're going to have to plan your exit plan. You're going to have to get rid of her because she's not going to help you do anything. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen because she's not even thinking like that. And 9 times out of 10, her ego's so big and she's so childlike and immature. It's all about her. The only thing she's thinking about is her. And a lot of these women, I have a chance to meet because, I go to a lot of the networking groups and I go to seminars, and I noticed that after I've gotten to know a few of these women within these circles, I realize why they haven't accomplished certain things, because they're very childlike. They're not really serious, and they act all silly and stupid. So even if I don't even have to stay with a lot of these women, I don't even have to be around them long enough to pick up on the silly acting and childlike behavior. And these women are in their late 20s, 30s, and 40s. I'm not talking about women that's 20 years old. Not at all. These women are in their late 20s, 30s, 40s. And these women, they have kids. They have kids mostly before anybody else. Fast. They have kids quick. So if you have a kid with a woman that's like this, you're going to have 2 kids, basically. It is what it is. So a guy that's a mover and a shaker, and a woman that has a childlike behavior, she don't know what to do with him. I mean, she can't outsmart him or outthink him or outtalk him because he's too intelligent for that. She can't really play those games like she did with, I don't know, maybe the guys she had previous, or maybe with her family members or friends. Those tricks usually don't work with the serious guy, the guy that's about his business. That usually don't work, and that has a lot to do with why she's intimidated, because she feels like she can't compete with a guy that's like that, because her whole game, and for the most women that are like this, their whole game is everything is just for show. Everything is just for show. All they have is the flesh, the physical. What you see, and that's pretty much what you're gonna get. And when they open their mouths, it's like, they tell the world who they really are. So it ain't much to them. And when they looks fade out, and when they start not to look the way they used to look, then they be on social media, on places like Facebook, quoting scripture, begging for forgiveness. Because 9 times out of 10, they done ran everybody away and done mistreated everybody and done people wrong, but they turn around and act like, and they play the victim role. So all you can do with these women is plan your exit plan if she's not willing to upgrade herself and learn. And that's going to be the biggest challenge for her, because she's probably never had to do it before, because her 9 times out of 10, her parents was always there to lift her up when she fell down or made a mistake or made too many mistakes. Parents was always there to pick up the tab. Oh, I got this, honey. Oh, I got this, baby. So now it's just you and her, and she knows she has to put in the work if she wants to stay around you. Otherwise, you're going to leave. So that's what's up with that. So if you like what you heard, subscribe to my channel. Check out my blog, chooseyourrelationships.com. Join my Players Club. And if you got questions, I got answers. Until next time, I'm out. Peace.